Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the B Team Podcast. As always, they are live on the Jackrabbit Illustrated Facebook and Twitter. We are also live on the FCS Fans Nation YouTube for the fans, by the fans. Beyond that, you can catch the show if you don't catch it live anywhere you get your favorite podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere in between. As always, the B Team is brought to you by our title sponsor, Kubota Dealers of South Dakota. If you need a tractor, utility vehicle, construction equipment, zero-turn motors, parts, service, and more, there's always a Kubota dealer near you with 8 locations across the great state of South Dakota. Stop in today and get yourself into some orange equipment. We would also like to take a moment to thank our segment sponsors, Culver's, Brookings and Watertown, Jackrabbit Central, and Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill. And now, B-Team Mafia, the time's arrived. Here's Ben, Chad, and Brendan.
Welcome back, everybody. It is not just the B-Team. This is the Megapod. We are joined by a couple special guests. We want to make sure we shout out our title sponsor, Kubota. Whether you need a tractor or a mower, a utility vehicle, construction equipment, hay or farm implements, Kubota's got you covered with 9 separate locations in the state of South Dakota. John Colley and the group's been great all year. They're Club 32 as well, a sponsor. So thanks. Shout out to John. And gentlemen, how you doing today?
So good. So good. How about you, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm joined by my other buddy. And so now you know why I was acting silly before.
That makes me so happy. I was going to ask, I hadn't seen that before and I didn't know if it was new. And then me imagining that that's your actual bedroom and that you have his face on your wall staring at you. God, what a good day.
Because I sit here and like it was awkward to sit to this side to try and cover it. And so for those people that don't know, I had a virtual background on and it looked like trash. It was bricks and it was like my face was digitized the whole time beforehand. But we're right on schedule. We're running along. We're doing well.
I never come on the show with a digitized background. What a terrible idea.
Yeah, well.
Well, but now he has a floating face of Matt behind him on the wall, and it's classy. And I think we all need that. And I doubt my wife was watching, but I'm sure she would approve if I have one of those. So I need to get one too and hang it up. Yep.
Yeah. Now that's the Matt head, just for the record.
So that is going to get. We are going to try to put together a JI basket for the scholarship auction, and that's going to be a part of it. So
oh, no,
we'll see how it goes. So we'll see.
Nobody's going to bid on that, are they?
Everyone is going to bid on that, Chad.
Everyone's going to bid on that. That's right. Well, we have a couple special guests today, Blake and Casey, right? Do you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Blake. I was a SDSU alumni 2009, so go Jackrabbits there. Air Force guy, so commissioned at ROTC, traveled around the active duty for a little bit, came back to our very own South Dakota National Guard, and I'll be participating in the Jackrabbit flyover this year prior to our championship game at Frisco. And I was in the formation last year, so it was a true honor and a true pleasure to be down there. This year I'll get to be on the ground crew and call the guys on in for the flyover event itself.
Oh, that's awesome. Different perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. A little slower.
Yeah, and Casey?
Yeah, I'm Casey Miner, 2007 Jackrabbit graduate. I've been in the Air National Guard since November 2008, currently a lieutenant colonel. I'll be leading the flyover for the Frisco game on Sunday. Really looking forward to it. I was doing what Blake did last year. I was on the ground last year for it. So I got to be the ground personnel for last year's game, which was a real treat. Looking forward to leading the 4-ship and nailing the timing, I guess.
Yeah, they were perfect last year. I can tell you that.
No pressure.
Last year was awesome. Yeah, no pressure.
It came right over. You didn't hear someone say home of the anything but jet noise, and just couldn't have been happier about that.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to fire questions at him? Because I have so many.
Yeah, let's get
them. Can we break the floor? Is it like I mean, can we,
What?
do like one of those Iowa flyovers? Is that maybe I shouldn't say this out loud.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Not
afterwards.
allowed. That is a known entity, and it is not allowed.
We give you permission for whatever this is.
Well, that carries a lot of weight. I appreciate that.
What I'm talking about, Dallas, is flying lower than what they're supposed to fly.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So just so you guys know, I tell you what, the guys won't come out. I've been on the field as a player and had it, and it is the coolest experience that just about anybody, probably outside of actually flying the damn things, having that happen before a game is the most emotional, unbelievable feeling as a player and as a fan now, right? Because I think in the past we were on the sideline for the national anthem. Now, obviously, they're typically not, but it just that feel, and it is such a damn cool thing, and it takes you back to being a kid. And I don't know, it just like I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it. Like, dude, it's amazing. My question though, after I'm done kissing your ass now, is what? So I've always wondered, 4 is asymmetrical. Why 4? I've never asked, and I don't know why.
That's our standard fingertip formation. We'll put an individual number 2 will be on the left side, number 3 will be on the right side, and then really the 3 and 4 aircraft are separate elements. So think of 2 teams of 2, and they've joined on the opposite side of the formation. Now we can do different things. We would call all echelon, where all 4 aircraft are staggered from one side to the other. We could do a diamond formation. That's kind of all allowed, but our standard one would be the fingertip 4 formation. And what that allows for, kind of back to the roots of flying that close of a formation, involve flying through weather. And if somebody were to ever kind of get lost, the clouds get too thick, it gets a little too bumpy, we have standard contracts on how to break away those formations. And so it's the most traditional one we train to. And we don't train to those kind of close formations a lot anymore. They're not super tactical for us. So it's kind of the easiest one to fall back to, but certainly not required.
That makes sense. And Scott Wagner has my next question. How do you time it out? Because that breaks my brain trying to imagine how that would work.
Yeah, I'll take that. So it really all starts with pre-game planning. Lately, the media companies, televised publications, all those things, they've got it down to just basically to the second. So I've reached out to them already. We've started contacting with them and coordinating with them, like the timing that they have and when they want us to go over. They rehearse it, they go through it a couple times, and we have a specific time that's been given to us from the production crew that's running the event. Now, historically, they are so good at what they do that they're not off at all. Because if we wanted to change that timing, it would really have to be at least greater than 5 minutes prior to that time. Otherwise, everything's kind of set into motion. But so that's kind of how the time is set. It's a known time based off of the game clock, based off of when they started the game clock. But for Sunday specifically, like for me and the jet, what I'm going to be doing is I'll then have a steer point or latitude, longitude coordinates over the field, right on the 50-yard line. And then in my jet system, I can enter that time into the jet. And then basically it tells me how fast to fly so that I hit
No way.
That is ridiculous. I was going to ask if it's a known distance that you fly at a known speed, but that's even cooler.
Well, there's certainly ways you can screw it up. If you if you're not pointing at the field and you miss your timing and you're too close, then you just can't go fast enough to catch up. So there's lots of things that can be screwed up, but hopefully we won't have to worry about that.
One of the interesting things the jet does too is if you were to end up, so it's all built off of that kind of where we're in a hold about 10 miles away from the airfield. I'll be on the radio if there's any delays or any kind of speeds up with the program. That's not super uncommon, but so I'll let the guys know. They're in a position about 10 miles away, and then they make their turn. And if that ends up happening a little bit earlier or late, the jet will actually kind of calculate their difference, and we'll have an airspeed carrot that we can chase through adding power. And so the real challenge is, for one, it's easy. He's just like flying on the speed of the carrot. adjusting his power as required. 2, 3, and 4 are all using him as a reference. And so they're constantly adjusting their power setting kind of back and forth to stay in a position, a known position entity as they kind of go. Obviously, you're bouncing around a little bit because they're about 3 feet away from each other, going about 300 to 400 miles per hour, about 500 to 1,000 feet above the ground as you're doing that one. And so we try to make it work out perfectly. We think one of the things that makes it pretty cool, we don't really know, we're just in the airplanes, but we think it's better if it's louder. Is that probably a correct answer, guys? You guys like it when it's louder?
Yeah.
One of the ways
100%.
we do that is we'll pull the speed brakes out of the aircraft so we're as draggy as possible so that we can make as much noise as possible with a higher power setting. And then about 30 seconds prior, we're going to go to afterburner. And so we'll all go to afterburner together with like a 1, 2, 3 now. The problem is the jets are a little bit unique. Each one has its own story to tell. And so they ignite their afterburner a little bit differently at different times and sometimes at different power settings. And so you're kind of like riding the whip of chasing that afterburner with the speed brakes out. So you're as draggy as possible. You get as much noise as possible so that you can get a kind of a good feel in a rumble. And that makes it kind of the true challenge of making it happen.
That's so awesome. It brings about some other questions for me too, but I'll let one of the other guys go if they have a question.
I mean, we can take Jordan's question.
So I actually was gonna piggyback off that. Obviously, I guess they're probably not hot if you have them, but is there going to be any surprises on the payload like there was last year?
Oh, those are fuel tanks, weren't they?
As far as weapons, no, there won't be any weapons on the jet. But honestly, I talked to maintenance a couple weeks ago before we went home for Christmas. And I heard some murmurings of some painted tanks, but I can't confirm that.
Okay.
We'll find out here this week.
Yeah, you'll just have to see.
And
Sounds
then
great.
my wife just texted me. She's watching rocking our toddler with RSV, so she's the real MVP. She really wants to know what your guys' call signs are, if you can share that.
My call sign is Amish.
Yep, and mine is Beaker. Yep.
Beaker. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
You guys have known me for a while, so it probably makes sense. Yeah.
If you know Blake, he's tall, skinny. He fits the mold that way.
Yeah.
So how, as far as flying and staying out of each other's jet wash, that's something we always heard about in the 90s as kids, right? And,
We've seen a movie or two, yeah.
Seen a movie or few. How's that work as far as, are you staggering then vertically? Is that what I've always imagined, or?
Yeah, so we have reference points, visual reference points, and we pick 2 of them. So in that reference point with those 2 points, they basically then intersect at a point. So as long as I keep those reference points right where I expect them to be, I'm looking kind of down the front of his wing line and then straight across the back end of his burner. So with those 2 points, they should intersect in the same spot, which puts everybody equally spaced away from each other. As far as up and down, we're trying to stay up and down level. One thing you can't see from the ground is if we are getting out of positions a little bit like this, you don't see that from the ground. What you do see from the ground is if we're closer or further apart. So as long as we hit those visual references that we have, it should look pretty symmetrical from the ground.
Yeah, I just didn't know if that was a straight back. I imagined it was some kind of a cone coming off the back of the tail section of the.
Yeah, it's basically a line. I'm
causes-
looking kind of straight at the cockpit of the airplane in front of me, and then straight behind the airplane, I look at those two line of sights there. For me specifically on Sunday, I'll be leading it, so I won't have to fly off of anybody.
You get the easy job.
I'll just be trying to be as smooth as I can so that everybody else can fly a good position as well.
One of the interesting points is, so 2, 3, and 4 are heavily focused on deconfliction and then staying in a good position. And so when they're doing that, they actually have no idea if the flyover is working or not. They're not monitoring the timing really at all. All they're focused on is looking at Amish's wing. And like I said, keeping it narrow, keeping the references right. And so that's their entire focus. His entire job is to make the timing work. And so once we overfly the stadium, the guys overfly the stadium, then we separate out to a wider formation position that we call route. It's about 500 feet apart from each other aircraft, and then we'll go to more traditional formations as we go back and land at the training airport we're going to launch out of. Then the guys will go land their jets and hopefully join us by halftime.
So what you're saying is, if it's messed up, we're blaming Amish.
One's always in position. So number one is always in position. So
I've never can't say I've always done everything correctly, but I'm always been one to take the heat on something. So if it looks bad, you can blame me.
It's fine. I'm just kidding around, obviously.
So Seth has my next question here. Where do you take off from I guess. And is it different this year from last year?
No, it'll be the same as last year. There is a Air Force base in Dallas that we'll be staging out of.
Cool.
So you guys fly down to Dallas from Sioux Falls then, like early Sunday morning, Saturday afternoon?
So the Jets will leave Saturday. They'll still be positioned down there. The guys are going to fly on down. They're going to button up the aircraft, make sure everything's good to go for the next day, help make sure they're refueled and ready to go. And then we're going to go out and kind of go to some of the other STSU events that are going on around town. They'll launch out of that airport effectively by themselves. A little bit of support crew is going to be there, execute the flyover, recover the aircraft back at that same airport, and then we're going to launch out Monday to return to Sioux Falls. So we can make that direct flight. How long does it take? How much did you already do the mission planning for it?
I haven't done much of it right now, but I believe from Sioux Falls down to Dallas right now, fuel is not going to be an issue. We should be able to do it, I think, in about an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes.
That was going to be my question.
I'll fly with you
That's
guys.
cool.
Yeah,
You
can
got
we
an
get a
extra
ride?
seat?
We can go faster too, but the FAA gets a little mad if you break the sound barrier in the national airport.
How many 30 racks of Bush Light can you attach to those F-16s and take with you?
I think you'd be surprised. The travel pods that we do carry, they are pretty roomy.
Yeah.
So, all right, this is probably an idiot question, but everybody, like, when you go somewhere, everybody always takes their own plane. Like it's like a 1-to-1 thing. You've got yours, and that's typically what you fly.
So at base, no, we just fly whatever maintenance has available because there's maintenance that has to be done on all the jets. So it's all kind of different. Specifically for this weekend, whatever jet I leave in on Saturday, I'll stay in that jet for the weekend. As long as they don't break or anything like that. Because I'm leading it, if one of the jets breaks, if it was my jet, I'd probably take somebody else's jet to lead it. But that's all. We kind of figure that out as we go on the fly then.
Right on.
So is it only South Dakota Air National Guard in the
Correct.
flyover?
Yeah. So those are the jets that are going to be flying over. So jets that are based out here at Sioux Falls that are maintained by our maintainers, flown by our pilots.
Why is that? Why South Dakota?
Well, it helps that our team made it. So thanks, guys, for giving us the opportunity to do that. Would be the kind of one thing I'd like to say. But the other one is, so when these events happen, they actually request formally to the Air Force for there to be a flyover team. And then basically bases like us bid on that. Now we were obviously watching for this to happen because we're watching the games, listening to your podcast, listening to Toby's voice. And so we're ready to go as soon as we know that this ends up happening. And so we figured they were going to do a request last year. They actually thought we did a good job last year, and I think they requested us by name as well, which might have helped out a little bit too. So,
Because I assume Montana had an option.
Montana doesn't have. There's not a fighter squadron in Montana, so
there's
kind
not
of like a C-130 or something like that doing the flyover, which you totally could. Probably won't be as cool as us doing it, though. But
No fighter squad, can't afford their band, can't afford to send their podcast. Just
Bunch of
broke
bullets.
out west.
We got everybody we had. If you're not watching and listening later here, we got Brendan just jumped in. Brendan, we have two guests who are way cooler than any of us. Anything you want to catch up on here?
No, I listened on the drive back from the classes I had to be at. So I don't know. Maybe I had to drove a little faster than normal just to try to catch them. But I don't have anything good to add. I just happen to be here.
I mean, I have some dumb questions to add, but that's about it.
There's no dumb question.
There's no dumb questions. Have you ever done the top 10 thing where you flew upside down?
not
Not
like
officially.
Pretty uncommon to be upside down. Chad, you're an engineer. You might find this interesting. So one of the things is when we are upside down, we're not like falling out of the cockpit. We're actually accelerating downward. And so we're kind of like falling into the seat upward. And so you never have that like upside down on a roller coaster feeling, which is pretty interesting.
Because centrifugal.
Is that because the Earth is round?
As far as I know, yeah. Because I've been,
I mean, you would have a bird's eye view for that.
It seems to be to me. So
Spherical.
We can put that to rest. That the Earth is round.
The flat Earth
He's
is
actually
mad.
seen the edge and has signed an NDA. He cannot.
Yeah.
So what do you know about the SR-72 and when are you flying it, Blake?
that was going to be part of our surprise flyover, but now it can't be because you asked the question. So
Way to go, Chad.
Yeah, well, no scramjet action Mach 10 for us, huh?
God, I tell you what, I just, you guys do such a cool thing. I mean, one, obviously, thank you for serving, but two, just what you are doing. And again, a flyover at a game is the coolest thing. And you guys do something that essentially, like, it makes all of us turn into like stupid little kids. And like, just, that's how I feel even just talking to you about this, right? Like, it is just such a nerd out, bring you back to when you're little. It's such an amazing thing. It's a little bit like the old SNL skit with Chris Farley interviewing, yeah, right? You know what I'm talking about? He's like, you remember that time when he said you were dead? Yeah, the Paul McCartney one. Anyway, that's what I feel like talking to you guys right now. So super cool. Thank you.
One more question. So when you see in Sioux Falls, a lot of times you see jets fly around. Is that you guys a lot of the time?
Yes.
I mean, as far as like it would be you guys practicing.
Yep. So in Sioux Falls, if they're F-16s, it's likely going to be us. Now, Sioux Falls happens to be in a centrally located part of the country. So if there are other jets transiting across the country, it's also a great place for them to stop for fuel. So occasionally there'll be other, I saw an F-18 here about a few weeks ago. F-15s can stop here, have stopped here before, but the ones you hear regularly and routinely, they are the South Dakota National Guard F-16s.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to ask because I thought like a few weeks ago I saw something different than I normally saw. So that must have been it.
Yeah.
We fly pretty frequently. We fly almost every day of the week, so.
Yeah, you guys buzz my office all the time. I'm over by Stan Houston. So yeah, I hear you guys coming in and going all the time. And then
where
my
exactly?
house is
where exactly?
Stan Houston.
Okay,
you know where Stan Houston is?
I'll hit it a little bit more. So
yeah, you hit that harder. And then my house is just south of Hartford, and you're always coming over there too. So it's like I get the jets all the time, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like Dallas said, when I was a kid, I went to the fair. I always got the poster, the Air Force posters, the F-16, the C-130, all those things. And I had them up on my wall, and it was the coolest thing, and still is.
Yeah. One thing that I probably didn't realize before I started doing this was how much flying is a currency issue. And so it's not just like you fly once or you fly twice and then, hey, you kind of got it figured out for the month, but flying 6, 7, 8, 9 times a month, it's the more you do it, kind of the better you get. It's certainly not like riding a bike. And so we know we make a lot of noise. We know we're certainly quite a bit of a distraction. We've heard that before, but I'll tell you what, we have got to maintain our training currencies. There's a whole lot of mission sets. The F-16 is one of the only aircraft that does really every role. So we do air to air, air to ground, close air support. We're starting to branch into some different mission sets as well. And so we kind of have the entire book of Air Force doctrine underneath us, and we've got to train to it consistently. And so we do that here locally out of the Sioux Falls Airport and in the airspaces we have that surround us.
Hey,
One
Blake.
more stupid. I got to ask a stupid question before your probably more intelligent question, Matt. Did you, when the whole Chinese spy balloon thing was going on, did you guys have to go fly and check it out?
No, we didn't do anything locally here. There were a few units around the country that had some different actions that were taken, but we didn't do anything locally here.
Gotcha.
Would you be able to tell us if you did?
So that all depends on what happened and what the results were.
That's fair.
That's good. Hey, Blake, you had mentioned you guys are going to also be at the alumni deal. It sounds like this might be a good segue to talk about some of the other events.
Yeah, so hey, we look forward to seeing all of our Jackrabbit friends. Like I said, Amish and I are both alumni, and it was great seeing a lot of you guys last year on the field and everywhere else. And so come say hi to us. Things you can expect. Like I said, we'll get down there Saturday. We're trying to make it over to the pep rally right now. Hopefully we can wave, say hi, talk to people, cheer on our Jackrabbits. I'll be there as the ground crew. I'll try to make it to you guys' tailgating event prior to. Shaking your hand, saying hello, call the guys on in. They'll be there at halftime, so you can expect that as well. And then whatever we got going on after that, we're happy to be there, and we're looking forward to hanging out with a lot of our Jackrabbit alum.
Cool.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Couple more questions. Paul Saylor says, does Sioux Falls have the in-air refueling as well?
Beaker's actually the scheduler. He can answer this one.
Yeah. So we are not an air refueling unit, but we have 2 air refueling units that are very close to us. So down in Sioux City and Lincoln, Nebraska, and we air refuel with them almost every day. So every single day, we're pretty much taking off, trained to a mission, kind of take a break, find an air refueling aircraft, top it off. So that's kind of a pretty interesting event where you slow down, you work a rejoin, find the aircraft, and stabilize your position, get about 4,000 to 6,000 pounds of offload fuel in about 10 minutes or less, really per aircraft for your 2 to 4 ship of aircraft, and then go back and continue training your mission set. So we are not an air refueling mission, but we have units that we work with. For this event, we're not going to do air refueling. Like I said, so the jets can get from here to Frisco just fine, still gas left. They can do the flyover and almost have too much gas left. Small little landing gear, small little brakes, small little tires. And then they'll fly back the entire way. And it's actually a bit of an objective for us to figure out how to burn the gas. So to be light enough for the landing. So,
okay.
That's fascinating.
Sounds like a roller coaster on the way home, Blake.
Yeah.
Well, Blake and Casey, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This has been awesome, and judging by all the comments and stuff, I think folks have really enjoyed it. So
hell yes.
We'll see you down in Frisco, and thanks for your service, guys.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Safe travels, guys.
Thank you.
How flippin' awesome was that?
That was sweet.
Coolest interview Thanks ever. for lining that up, Matt. Good work.
No, it was all Blake. Blake reached out. So actually, it was our buddy Tim. So Tim reached out,
Goldhammer,
and said, "Hey, I gave Blake Schneider your phone number. Hope you don't care." And so that was Tim Goldhammer there. So thanks, Timmy.
Nice
So
work, Tim.
holy smokes, guys, we all are here. This is weird.
I don't think we've ever done this, have we?
No.
Even
Not
when
all-
there was
not
only
all of
5
That
of
was
us.
Alex. Yeah.
No, definitely not with Alex. I think like COVID
Just
times
let anybody join.
letting anybody in know, I guess.
All right, so let's go. First off, all of you guys have been working hard on this. What we have going on. We kind of plugged it last night just a little bit. Chad Dallas and I did, and you guys have just done. I just want to say this publicly. Just done a phenomenal job getting this set up. It's going to be an awesome weekend. I hope our listeners, the fans of the Jacks, really enjoy it. It's going to be great. Last year we joked about our tailgating turning into a Project X, and then it actually kind of happened. And so this year we're a little more ready. So let's get into it. So Brendan, you want to go through the schedule of what you have going on at the local on Saturday?
Yeah, so the live pod, we're going to start around 1 at 1. We actually have to time this out. We could not, and I don't think you could think of a more star-studded national guest lineup for FCS football, and I actually would go out there and say I don't think one show has had this much FCS star coverage firepower on one show before. So to lead it off, we got Matt Zimmer from Sioux Falls Live. We've got Tanner Castora of the Brookings Register. We've got FCS Nation guys coming down with Stone and Kevin coming down. We've got Sam Herder. We've got Zach McKinnell, and Coach Fred from the Blue Bloods. Yep, Coach Fred's going to come down, which is awesome. And then we're going to have Matt Frazee, Jamie Williams, the Rev, Kyler Neal. You'll all be able to boo him. Throw stuff at him. I don't care. He's probably durable. And then that's going to go all, I mean, we're going to have like 10, 15-minute time slots. We're going to have time slots, which I don't think we've ever done before on this show, where we've had to stick to a 15-minute time slot with guests. So this is going to be wild. But then we do plan on having a 30-minute garage time after it is over. We are working on a surprise special guest as well. We will see whether or not that pans out, time and what they got to do and everything like that. So we'll see if that works out. It'll be awesome. But yeah, it's going to be one hell of a lineup we've got going for our live show down in Frisco. And they're all going to be there. They'll all be live. They'll all be in person. These aren't Zoom interviews. They're all going to be down at the local, showing up on the show and then hanging out for a little while.
Yep. And we do got to thank Thomas Dunn for working on the technical logistics of this. It's going to be hopefully over the speakers at the local, right, Brendan?
So we've got to bring in a PA system and try to plug into their speakers, because we've all been to the local. That outdoor area doesn't have speakers for itself, and we're going to be set up on the stage there with kind of a college game day type feel, tables and stuff like that. So we need a PA system to have the sound there, plus what they have in the bars, because obviously the bars are two kind of separate areas there. So we will be able to be heard if you are in attendance. And we plan on possibly, instead of answering because we're going to be so busy, we're going to plan on having somebody go along and chaperone a microphone to hand to the audience to ask questions in the garage time afterwards.
There's no way that doesn't go poorly.
It's going to be great. I cannot wait for the first "you mother effers" to drop.
Oh, it's going to go poorly in the best possible way.
Oh, yeah.
You guys, you've got so many guests. I don't even think I need to be there.
No, you have to be there.
Is this a comment in regard to this?
Nice
right
try.
Here, or,
nice
or,
try.
Or
He's trying. Yeah, Ben's going to be in his costume.
There's no time for me.
I'm here. I will give anybody a microphone who wants to ask Ben about his wiener.
I'm not gonna.
I will stay.
I don't need
3 until midnight, just handing the microphone out, so Ben has to hear that over and over.
Oh, goodness. And I just want to, emphasize something Brendan said. Kyler Neal is going to be there, and he is the one that said Mark's not any good. He has a Montana tattoo.
I mean,
big
Grizz supporter.
So
Kyler Neal.
Boo Kyler, just mercilessly, like just let him hear it.
I don't know if he said that Mark's not that good, but he said he's not that guy, which is almost worse.
Potato.
If you say
Potato,
somebody's not that guy, yeah, that's pretty. That's a damning statement there. So yeah, definitely boo Kyler Neal. I think we'll have to make him show his Grizz tattoo.
Should we pass around tomatoes into the audience so they can throw them at him? No, we can't do that. We've got nice equipment up there. We can't throw stuff up there.
We'll be hosting a live pod on free tomato and free battery night.
Awesome.
Did you guys get the batteries? Oh, they had them in a basket when we walked in. Did you get any?
So that's about the pod at the local. What else is going on at the local, Brendan? Anything else to tell us about that?
They have a couple other events. They're going. The Alex's Lemonade Stand is going to have a face-off where they're going to have. I know you guys talked about that. They're going to have other the other athletes, the SDSU athletes, be able to make it because they're busy playing to win a national championship. Teams like USD and stuff aren't. So obviously they're available. So they'll be there. But shade, huh?
An empowerment autograph if you.
I have and they've been making a surge, by the way, because they do have all these the other athletes in Alex's Lemonade Stand have free time on their hands, so they're out making quite the push. They almost caught Brian Williams. I know we do have the donation from Cubbies coming in, but we want to obviously leave nothing to chance, as they say. So. But Thursday, just for Alex's Lemonade Stand, after our podcast, they're going to have a face-off challenge. They would like us to be a part of that. I haven't asked you guys about it yet. I just got the details on it today. It's going to be kind of, are you smarter than a fifth grader style competition between the different teams. So we have the opportunity to be a part of that. They're going to be doing that with the crowd there and all that jazz on Thursday. However, they will be opening at noon on Thursday, but Friday and Saturday they will be opening at 10 a.m. So you'll be able to come in at 10 a.m. On Thursday night, though, obviously we want to start Thursday. If you're in town Thursday, like I'm going to be because I'm awesome. No, I'm just really lucky that the wife wanted to go too. 7 p.m. to through 8 p.m. or till 9 p.m. They're going to have music bingo there. So if you're part of I like to do bingo crowd on Thursday because that'll be a smaller crowd. They'll do that for a short period of time. But then Friday, at 1 o'clock, I'm going to put together a cornhole tournament. I'm going to put open registration on it. I haven't figured out quite what we're going to charge yet and what the winnings will be. I will put out a post on Twitter and then I'll share it to Facebook and JI. Haven't figured out the size of the field or anything, but we'll do a bracket style cornhole tournament there.
And hold on, did the rest of you guys say
bigger than the FBS bowl system? Sorry.
Yeah, we'll have at least 4 teams, I feel.
do you guys call it bags or cornhole?
Bags.
I call it bags.
I'm bags.
Cornhole is something else in my family.
You need to go to
Yeah,
church.
you don't want to get kicked in the cornhole.
Moving on.
It's his mouth. That's the hole he consumes corn through.
well, it's
Come
my-
on.
Yeah, it's the one that comes in. Yeah, not the one.
That's
that goes
what that
out.
is for sure. Definitely.
Get your minds out of the gutter. Gosh.
I don't know. I call it.
I was
cornhole.
just
Maybe
asking
it's
an honest
Wisconsin
question.
thing. It might be something that I just do without realizing it. And then they're gonna have a DJ at 7, 8 o'clock. The Red Dirt Band's gonna start up. They're gonna play until 11, and then the DJ will play after that until close. Red Dirt Band is I'm sure it'll be Dallas's favorite with his style of music.
It does sound like it, yes.
Texas outlaw country, sort of red dirt country stuff. And then, obviously they close at 2, and then Saturday open at 10. Then they close at 11. No, I'm just kidding. They have a typo on their schedule. And I'm just being a dick. Then at 1 o'clock, we'll have our show start. And 1 till 3, they're going to have karaoke at 7 and 8, and then DJ for the rest of the night. And then they're going to have obviously the football game on, and then they'll have a live band after the game's on. They're going to have other things. They're going to have SDSU merch for sale there. They'll have their own merch for sale, and a bunch of other events. Those are the ones that I know of so far. The local will be hopping.
And we're going to have merch for sale too. Our basic Jackrabbit Illustrated blue t-shirts. So if you want to see them first, we have large through XXX. So, it should be good. And also, we only have 5 of each size. So buy them quick if you want them down there. All right, Dallas.
What?
You wanted to talk about the alumni events. So
I do.
Alumni events.
Dallas Clark's
All right.
principal's office.
I thought it was muted, and then I wasn't, and I was anyway. Or I was scrolling through Twitter. You caught me. I was. By the way, sorry. Total random. Maybe we're just
going to build a shed.
Maybe we're just kind of BS when we're done with productive things here. But I was just reminded, how flipping cool is it that Stig got mentioned on the Sugar Bowl broadcast last night?
Yes.
My God, that was cool.
So deserved.
Oh my God, I just geeked out. Like I was almost asleep because it was 3 a.m. when that damn game was on. But that was awesome.
I won't go there. I was gonna say I went to bed at with a minute 20 left, thinking okay, this one's over, and then to go back.
I know.
And watch the end tonight because evidently it got crazy.
I did too. Unfortunately, my son didn't go to bed. He was still watching it, and I texted him basically to remind him to go to bed because I knew he hadn't done it. He's like, "Dad, they got the ball back." I'm like, what? No, they don't. So Hudson saved me. That was huge. All right, so I wanted to talk about alumni events, different things going on. There's a whole bunch of them. So if you are unable to make it down, which unfortunately I'm not, my kids have too much going on. It just isn't going to work, and it is physically painful for me to think about it, but it absolutely isn't going to happen. So it doesn't work. But there's a ton of events going on. I wanted to read those off. I tweeted it out earlier, right? So if you want to go, just go to statealum.com, go to the alumni association page, go to events. There's a link for different watch parties, but just to read it off quick, a ton of them in South Dakota, around the Midwest, and a handful of other areas. So Aberdeen, Apple Valley, Minnesota, Badger, South Dakota, Beersford, Bruce, DC Jacks. We see a lot of stuff on Facebook and social media about those guys. Dolan, South Dakota. I don't know where that is. Does anyone know where that is?
By Clark.
It's by Condi.
No kidding. All right.
Yeah,
right
that's
next to
funny.
Condi.
That's funny.
Okay. Cool. In fairness, I only lived in South Dakota for 4.5 years. All right. Gillette, Wyoming, Houston, Texas. There's one in Hawaii that Whiston, my teammate Whiston, is hosting. So that's awesome that there is an official watch party in Hawaii. So if you're on Oahu, get there. Parker, Colorado, Redfield, South Dakota, Scottsdale, Arizona, Sioux Falls, Twin Cities, Jackrabbits. They are at, is it Invictus?
Yep.
Invictus Brewing. There's actually an unofficial one in Mankato here too. That is at the Atomic Star. I just heard about that. So if you're in the Mankato area, Atomic Star. Weston Springs, South Dakota, West River Jacks. Where are they at? It doesn't say.
Rapid somewhere, aren't they?
They're at what's the one?
Rapid.
Thirsties, aren't they?
Thirsties. Yep, there it is.
There you go.
Yep, you got it. Thirsties in Rapid. I'm impressed you knew that. All right, one in Winter, and then Yankton area Jacks. So if you are in any of those areas, hang out with some fellow Jackrabbits. That's all I got. I want to make sure we cover that.
Awesome.
And also you can submit. My bad. If you can submit on that side. So if you have one going on, you want to get one in your area. All these kind of like community events, they help get other area chapters, alumni associations get going. Right. You just get to meet people in your area. So if you want to host one, get it on there. Get it on social media. If you want to share it with us on Twitter, on Facebook, we will share it too. Done.
That's what I was just going to say. You can reach out to the Alumni Association. They'll actually help send you some materials and stuff to help set one up. If you can get a hold of a local sports bar or whatever to host a party. So don't be afraid to be ambitious there.
Quick thing. Jim Poppin, unless Ben wants to bring some crayons and a paper or something, there won't be a JIAI segment, I don't think there. So yeah. It would be kind of funny if Ben had to sit there and draw during the show.
If we added any of our normal segments, it would go until 8:00 at night. And we wanted to keep it, done at 3 because the pep rally's at 4. So we want people.
Hey, but
they want to go.
They're not starting the program until 5, so that gives us a little more time. Doors open at 3, but the program doesn't actually start till 5. I read today. So,
well, yeah, that's why I planned garage time for a half
Exactly.
Somebody just asked. Kristen Klein asked if there's one in Phoenix. There's one in Scottsdale, Arizona, at the Tavern Grill in Scottsdale, Arizona. So there you go.
Hey, just want to give a shout out. Currently 208 folks watching this. So Jackrabbit Nation,
Crazy.
you rock. Thank you. So
with the powers of the A team and B team combined.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
Yeah. All right, Ben. Thank you, Brendan, for everything you've done, getting the local going there. So Ben, talk about Project X 2.0. So
yeah, I want to give a couple shout outs first. One to Jim Poppin, JI super fan. He's helping us take some stuff down there for the tailgate. And 2, thank you to Zach Muggenberg, I think is the way you say his last name. He runs Tailgater Incorporated out of Okoboji, Iowa. He's helped us immensely set up this whole tailgate party. And if you are in the need of any tailgate party, he's the guy. So Tailgater Incorporated, thank you very much to them. Chad has our sponsors up here. Matt, do you want me to go through those? Or do you want to go through at the end?
This is okay. They're okay. Yep, just seeing it.
All right.
So
all right.
Yep.
So yeah, whole list of sponsors there. If you're wondering, we'll have a huge Jumbotron, which is a new addition for the tailgate this year, which is going to be awesome. We're going to have all of the sponsors, the major sponsors, logos rolling through there. We're also going to have some video from game footage from the games throughout the year. That'll be cool. And then also the Jumbotron will show the broadcast of the game. So if for some reason you come down there, which we recommend, even if you don't have a ticket, come on down, because if you can't get into the game, the broadcast will be showing on the Jumbotron during the game with audio. So it'll be a great spot to watch right outside the stadium. Other than that, we're going to have a ton of food. We've got pulled pork, 200 pounds of it from Creekside Meats and Dakota Butcher. We'll have, I think, 800 burgers, and then some other stuff too to eat, like chips and cookies and water and pop, and it's all free. So definitely come hungry. Also come very thirsty. The amount of beer that we have this year is unreal.
Ridiculous.
It's we ran out last year. We don't want to run out as quickly this year. We would still like you to drink it all, so keep definitely drink it. But I will say we definitely didn't know last year how big it was going to be. We still don't know how big it will be this year. We think it'll be a little bigger, so the beer could go quickly. So do bring some of your own beer just in case we do run out. I don't want people angry at me because I didn't bring enough beer for you. We're trying our best, but we don't want to buy too much. But there will be a beer garden set up in the middle, which is going to be awesome. And then the food line on the side, we'll have a DJ there. He'll be playing all of your favorite music. Not Thunderstruck. We will not play that like last year. He will be playing Grove Street Party multiple times. If you do have any song requests, hit me up on Twitter at Captain Jacks. I can send them over to the DJ. Other than that, I guess we're starting at 8 a.m. is when it will all be set up and ready to go. And then we'll go until just after noon, probably, so that people can start heading into the game. And so, yeah, I think the food will be ready 9:30 probably. So plan to eat in that 10 to noon time frame and drink all the beer you can. Like I said, it's all free. Any Jacks fans welcome. Even Montana fans, stop over and say hi. Be friendly.
Drink a beer on us.
That's right. Matt, you're muted.
Juice Master, come introduce yourself. If you're listening to this, we want to know who you are.
There you go.
So
there you go. Did I miss anything?
No, that was great. If you feel so inspired down there and want to donate, just find one of us and we'll have a QR code where you can donate the Venmo directly to. So
the JI Venmo will be rolling through along with the sponsors. So if you're drinking a bunch of beer and you're like, man, I feel like I should be paying for some of this, go ahead and throw $20 or whatever at us. Yep. Doesn't matter. Any of the cost, or we cover the cost of the tailgate. Anything over that we get from sponsors or any individual contributions goes straight to the JFPA, which then goes straight to the program. And so you're either fueling a Jackrabbit party or fueling the SDSU football program by way of JFPA. So it's like I said, it is free for everybody, but if you feel inclined to throw a few bucks, go ahead.
Also, Ben, because we have the best listeners, one of them let me know that it's not a Jumbotron unless it's a Sony board.
Yeah, so which they don't make them anymore. It's like a Daktronics.
Fine.
Or a Livestar.
Nerd.
Yeah. So our listeners are the best. So
it's a large Tron. I don't know what you want me to call it.
It's made by Watchfire. It's likely Chinese electronics, and it is Daktronics. I'm just saying.
We'll get some confirmation on it and correct it during an after show.
There you go. Look for the tweet later.
Addendum. I can't speak English.
Yeah.
Amendum.
Huh.
It's like being at a hockey game going, that's not actually Zamboni. Zamboni's just a name.
It's not a jacuzzi. It's a whirlpool tub because it's not made by Jacuzzi.
Yeah.
There it is.
I do want to start an official segment called JI's Full of Shit where we redact and apologize for things that were totally wrong and off base. We should do that like once a week.
You mean like saying they haven't announced the Walter Payton yet?
All of those things, yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to be on that list a lot.
Well, no, actually, no. Beyond not saying, well, you actually confused the Jerry Rice and Walter Payton, didn't you?
Oh, right.
So it was a double. Yeah,
I did it on purpose, man.
Well, so wait, you were right and wrong at the same time?
Yeah.
Question mark.
We'll take it.
This is an on-air production comment, which we do all the time, but why didn't I reach out to Daktronics about taking a screen down there?
Because you're a very silly man.
I don't.
Maybe I still.
Or you could have got their sports sound too.
If anybody has a really good contact at Daktronics,
how are we going to get it there, Ben?
I'll go with my truck.
He's got a truck.
Ben's got a truck. Yeah,
it's on. They're all on trailers.
Fair enough.
One of us is solely responsible for the equipment of one of their suppliers that welds the chassis for those products.
Sounds like
who is this
mystery
man?
I don't know.
Oh, Chad, check your DMs. Someone's sliding into your DMs.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hey,
Evan.
I got a big screen.
I'm glad you reached out, bud. Thanks, man. I'll get with you after this.
All right. So Brendan, you're going down Thursday. Ben, when are you going down?
driving to Wichita Thursday night, staying at the Kansas Star Casino. So if anybody else is staying there, I'm guessing that's a popular spot to stop on the way, and then driving the rest of the way Friday morning.
Okay. Alex, what about you?
I will be getting in Saturday right about the time of our show, so I will get there as soon as I can. I might just be hanging out off to the side as not break up the flow. I got 8.5 months pregnant wife and currently a sick toddler, so my wife's being very gracious to let me go down at all.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's facts.
Yeah. Chad, we talked about your plans last night in Dallas. Are you going to watch from home? Because I know you get nervous during games. Are you watching from home, or are you going to the Atomic Star?
I would like to go to Atomic Star at least for a little bit. I do get extremely nervous, and some would say difficult to deal with during games. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I actually haven't reached out to any of my alumni friends here locally, so I probably will do that the next couple of days and see who's going down and who's going to be around yet. And that's because I also have a weird end where I got 2 games that day plus my son's football banquet that night, so need to behave myself during the day to at least to a certain level.
Jeez. Oh boy.
That's the plan. What's up, Rev, joining us? Hello, sir.
Now it's a Mega Live.
Now it's a party.
Now you can say Mega Live.
Now we're allowed to call it a Mega Live because you're here.
It's SDSU's favorite podcaster. So
I see. I was gonna have it say SDSU's favorite end zone bunny, but whatever. I'll take the other two, Matt. It's fine.
What's up, Rev? When are you getting to town?
I land Friday morning at like 10, I think.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Should be a good time. And you guys are all aware of what's coming with me. So,
are you going to tell everybody else?
No.
Well,
I mean, you kind of did.
Well, I mean, I didn't. I'll put out the video.
Feels like a giveaway at this point.
Yeah, the video's good. I'm glad you're doing it.
I'm just glad a certain company based in Minnesota could get it there on time. That
wasn't a public video though. Not everybody's seen it.
No, it was a public video. And also, there's someone I'm staying with who doesn't know I'm doing it is going to probably hate it, so it's even better. So.
Awesome. Anything else, fellas? We got to go over.
60 minutes, I think, is what we have to go over. That's our typical.
That's why I'm here.
I mean, are we going to talk about the game at all on here? Or
like no game.
Oh,
sure. Or are we just talking about what we're doing? I'm just asking. I didn't know. I missed production. I'm sure Ben did too, but
you're right.
Yes, I am.
But we will go over the game. Brendan, Alex, and I, and maybe Chad will be going over the game tomorrow night on Scared Money Don't Make Money. I think at 9 o'clock.
Possibly. 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock tomorrow night.
Meeting.
Scared Money Don't Make Money.
I'm gonna be not in my pod setup. I'll already be down in Omaha, but I will be on there.
Nice. Right. Yeah, we'll be picking against the spread. We'll be breaking down the game a little bit, but we can certainly discuss whatever we want to discuss on here.
Have you guys went and found any Montana podcasts at all? Because there's plenty of them, and they're interesting.
Tell us about them.
Well, they're good. I like listening to opposing fan bases podcasts just to, get out of my own bubble a little bit of we're obviously so focused on SDSU and they're very focused on Montana. Just seems to be not a lot of They know the Big Sky and they know Montana, and that's kind of their jam. But I think if you get outside that, all of a sudden it's different. There was some interesting things, when you say, I don't think one of the lines was, I think if you go position by position, nobody in SDSU will be the best person at that position that Montana's faced this year. Was an interesting one.
They said Furman was the best.
And then after that, they followed it up with, I don't know if their defense is better than Furman's, which I thought was interesting. So there's some, it's interesting reading it, and stuff like that. That's just what I got a kick out of. It was great. They do deep dive and stuff like that, but they're really, and I've said on stuff like that 6 times in a row now. But yeah, it was interesting to listen to. Go check it out if you're someone who doesn't just get like angry over that stuff. If you are, maybe pass it up. You know, I don't think that stuff's worth getting mad about. It's fun to listen to and get a different perspective.
For sure. Has Adam with Fight On Montana put anything out this week?
They're recording tonight because I saw it at our StreamYard.
Nice. So that's one I've tweeted that. He's a member of the Fans Nation group. I would recommend checking that out. He was on the Big Kid Fans Nation pod. It was Rev? It was you. It was Frazee. Who was missing? It was you and Kyler, right?
It was Brendan. It was Brendan and Adam.
No, not the Mega.
No, he was on Mega, and then he and Matt.
Oh, that's right.
Did 2 margaritas with Matt.
2 margaritas.
That's right. Sorry, I watched 3 back to back today. Anyway, got it.
Actually, the title of that was 1 bottle of Crown with Brendan, but
it could have been. I didn't do Crown that time. That
was the Mega Live, wasn't it?
That was the Mega Live.
That was the Mega Live.
something.
There's a reason I stick with the chocolate milk during podcasts. They go down too quick when I'm on a pod, and then it's not good for anybody. The Podfather would genuinely fine me if I did that for every one of ours.
Speaking of going down quick,
I'm
just
just
Busch Light tonight, Dallas.
oh Lord,
There we
Everybody
go.
else bring theirs.
Yep.
no, mine's already open, but
Oh,
and it's not Busch Light. It's good beer.
all that counts.
Busch
We're
Light's
gonna.
great.
And shotgun a White Claw just for drinking a White Claw.
He made his kid get it for him too.
It's gonna be like drinking like
Sounds like-
beads that are in pillows.
It's got to be like shotgunning bees because it's so goddamn
Angry.
I wouldn't recommend
full
it.
of carbonation. Like
If I had a shotgun, I'd switch over to Busch Light.
the angriest shotgun ever.
John made a good comment here. The team walk is great. They announced today it's at 10:30.
Thank you, John.
10:35.
Yep.
We will at our tailgate. We'll make sure to send people there. We'll be announcing it. Maybe we'll just stop handing out beers for a little bit to force people to go to it because it is really cool, and it's awesome for the team to see all the support of the fans there. We'll tell people, hey, go grab your beers now because we're going to stop serving for 15 minutes while everybody goes over there. Because it's a cool experience watching them walk in. Last year they all had cowboy hats on. It was cocky as hell, and it was awesome. I don't know if they'll do the same this year or not, but the pride's over there. So definitely recommend the team walk in.
I will. I'm trying to get a tab pulled up here.
I guess the city of Frisco gives them those cowboy hats. I read in their article about the economic impact of the national game.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's not cheap.
All right, can you guys? I was really glad that he brought that up because I was thinking about that because there was confusion last year as to how it worked and where they were going to be.
Right.
And you guys can't see my mouse when I share like this, correct?
I can see it.
Correct.
Oh, you can see it. Okay, sweet. So
Might want to zoom in, maybe.
A little more. There you go. Yep.
there we go. Okay, so everybody, north is up, south is down. We are in this area here, southeast corner. This is a big grass lot. Okay, the walk occurs on the north side. They unload at the intersection roughly of Lamar Hunt and whatever this is that's not labeled. So somewhere, or is it all the way out here in World Cup? You remember?
Over there, yep.
All the way out here?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so they unload all the way over here. People will be lined up on either side. The pride will be there, and they walk all the way down, and they turn into the stadium somewhere here in the middle.
Yep.
So So I don't know what time. What time did you say it's going to be?
10:35.
Hold on. So Thayer let us know that Sam Herder hates our team, and he has wrong times in his initial tweet. We are at 10:15. Montana is now at 10:35.
Oh,
so 10:15. Sam, boo Sam.
So if we all get there and stand there and wait around for 20 minutes, the Montana fans can't even get to see their team walk in.
That'd be funny.
Disrespectful. Let's not do that.
Something giving away batteries and tomatoes.
something in the month of May. Oh wait, you have to know that song, I guess.
I love your idea, Alex. So anyway, All right, so the team unloads to the northwest corner of the stadium, walks along the north side, turns in the middle. Be there early, super cool. Get out there, support the guys, because I tell you what, I promise you that shit is meaningful to have thousands of people lining on either side as they unload off the buses and walk to the stadium. That's awesome. Make a difference.
Deb has it here. She says we were told 10:15, and of course she's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is 10:15 is the walk-in, and we will make sure to tell our DJ to alert everybody of that ahead of time, and we'll have a big old crew walking over there.
Deb is always right, and in case you don't know, she might call you and let you know that she's right. Ask me how I know. I love you, Deb. I don't mean that in a bad way at all.
I gotta take a shot of Malort down in Frisco.
Oh God, please don't bring.
Yeah,
in
that's
Malort.
right, dude.
What?
Yeah,
Malort
Why?
is disgusting.
because she said if I was wrong on my pick in the Albany game, I had to take a shot of Malort. Because
She's bringing Malort.
Apparently, because I
Oh
don't think
my
anyone
God.
willingly sells it outside of Chicago.
They do in Omaha for some reason, but yeah, she
Oh,
said
that makes sense.
thanks for reminding me. You might have got away with it if you didn't say anything.
So there was some question where our tailgate's going to be. I pulled up a map. I tried to get this on Google Maps. It hasn't shown up. It wasn't on Dallas's, but here it is here for you guys, just to the east of the stadium and on the south side of the south parking lot. That parking lot's not named. The other ones are, like the Sienna lots just to the north.
Just go to the east side of the stadium and look for the large Tron.
Yeah, we should be easy.
The Tron.
There we go. It is Tron.
Deb made a good comment here. She
or
said
the giant cowboy hat.
Mark said it was the coolest thing ever. She's referring to the walk up last year. So yeah, another reason to definitely go over there for that.
I want to address Tony's comment that was made earlier before we started talking about location and walk. He said make Ben shotgun a White Claw in a wiener costume. What I think would be better is if we go into the Wayback Files and we ice him when he's in the wiener costume.
Oh,
I'd down an ice. I wouldn't
people
hate
iced
that.
him all weekend, that'd just be the
No, now we're just getting
mean.
Speaking of, I'm not.
That has nothing to do with the punishment. I just find that funny.
Should we go fantasy football style? And for every hot dog Ben eats, he gets 5 minutes sooner out of the costume.
There was never.
You know what? Yes, that'd be amazing.
The time
I'd eat him on air.
The time. We've never discussed how long I'm going to be in this. It's going to be like
it was
10
the whole
minutes.
day, I think, wasn't it?
All show.
The whole
All
day.
show.
Not
all
all
show.
day.
I
It's
thought
just
I
all
heard
show.
whole show.
It's all show.
What?
At the game too,
All
right?
show.
Not the.
Yeah, just
game.
wait till John
Oh my
Thune
God,
comes
the game
down
would be
again and he's at the
incredible.
local and you get to shake his hand, get your picture taken, standing next to his senator, having him ask you about your wiener.
Oh God.
We have no idea if he's going to be there though.
So,
He was there.
there
last
definitely won't be anybody important there, so I won't worry about it.
Why are we showing that comment?
I missed it until you said something.
So many hot dogs going.
I didn't do it.
Uh,
Not it.
Oh God, this is the best. This is the punishment we've ever come up.
That's my cousin too. That's the worst part.
Yeah, that makes it a little.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that out loud.
Awkward
It
now.
sounds.
I wouldn't have
sounds
publicly said that.
didn't realize this was Arkansas Jackrabbit football.
Corey says Ben is losing sleep. I am too. I got to get up at 4:45.
Oof. All right. So what time are you guys going tomorrow night? 9?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Well, I'll see all you hooligans then. And then I'll see you in a couple days in Frisco. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Please go out and support our sponsors. Thank to everyone that's donated individually. Like, subscribe, share our stuff. Appreciate it. And with that,
Oh, hold on. Are Chad and I doing this?
Oh, hey,
Sure,
hey.
do it again. I
Hold
guess.
your. Oh God, I got to warm one again. I got to stab with a pencil. Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
You're gonna go all over his
you're gonna get it all over your face.
It is.
Like I did last
Jesus,
time.
it's just running
Open your
down my
mouth to get
computer.
less on your face.
I'm sure my cousin has some tips for that, Dallas.
Former wastewater engineer, right?
Good Lord.
Be a shame if somebody.
You'd
made a
think
gift
2
for
nights in a
that.
row I'd remember to bring a key. Fuck's sake.
I just used a fork. Oh, and I did mine backwards. This is stupid.
Dallas,
You did not do it upside down.
Oh yeah, it's 100% upside down.
Wait, where's
Operation
the hole at?
It's up
Oh,
by
it's on the
cam.
wrong side.
I am covered
This
right
is
now,
not
guys.
going to work at all then.
Jesus.
gonna
Great
do it.
radio, guys, for all our
I'm
audio
here to.
listeners.
I'm
It
here,
really
I'm here
is.
for this.
we are
Yeah.
gaining
Listening.
listeners somehow.
I know, and
On
nobody.
podcast form,
I won't-
you got to get on YouTube and watch this because this is
Okay.
good.
This is horrific. I wish you guys
Ben,
could see how
You
much
know
of
what I
this.
can do.
Somebody just clip
Jesus.
this part and just put it
Yeah,
It's,
right.
it's on the internet forever.
For an hour.
All right.
like
and
Chad
4
liking
minutes.
this.
All right,
sausage.
who's counting down here? And remember, I have 4 extra ounces. I'm handicapped.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Go big. Go blue.
Go Jacks.
Go Jack.
Oh, we beat him! Go Jackson! It's all in his eyes.
It did not work.
Oh man, that's like the end of one of.
I had probably 13 ounces. I got a
Who's
solid
ending this
ounce.